We did it, we bought it, we fetched it, and now it's here. Look at that! Oh, thank you very much.
Looks like blades, what's it?
Jeepers
Chitty
Creepers.
bang bang bloody
Chitty chitty bang bang.
I'd say
Lollipops, please.
Yeah. Anyway, as you've probably gathered walking up to this thing, the guy who had this before had a removal company. I think he did all sorts of removal, probably rubbish removal actually. And he had these great big boards put on the side, I presume to stop rubbish blowing out, because the cages have seen better days. But this is far too high for us. We don't need it this high. So the plan is we're going to cut the top off, just bring it down to a normal height, take this off, because that's just going to catch rubbish. And then the black sides that are on there, we're going to cut them in half. We'll refit half back on the outside on here, and the other half will go on the inside. We'll basically have a double skinned. It won't be as strong as a full aluminium body, but it should be strong enough to carry a bit of wood chip. Yeah, and the stuff we carry. What else can I say about it? It is 12 plate. One of the reasons I got it was because the initials, Wotton Under Edge. I saw the advert and I thought, well, it's just telling me I've got to buy this truck. It wasn't a terrific amount of money. And I do have to say to Mark, the guy who bought it off, Mark Smith, thank you, mate, for trusting me, because we went to do the money transfer when the guys went to fetch this thing, which my missus has to do from her phone because I don't have all that stuff on the phone. And her phone would not let her transfer the full amount, only a partial amount. And Mark has let us bring it home without paying for it. So I did say, look, trust me, mate, you're safe. Well, but he said, I know where you live. I said, well, I know you do, because I've given you a card and I've also given you all our YouTube and social media stuff. So he knows where I live. So yeah, that's Mrs. P's job when she comes home, is to finish paying for this thing. So it wasn't a massive amount of money. It is a 7 Series, which is the one I like. I don't like the new Transits, especially the really new Transits. I don't like them. This is an old workhorse and it will see us for the next 5 years. It just needs a bit of a tidy. This body, although we're messing around with it now, is probably not going to stay on there. We're probably going to take the body off of our other 7 Series and swap them over, because this is a newer vehicle, less miles, better condition. I mean, we've got electric windows for a start and a heated front screen. And the guys won't know themselves. For what we do, it's more than adequate. So I paid £8,000 for this vehicle, which is not cheap, but if you think a new one is to do the same job as getting on near a 50, and it won't do any more work than this chap will. So I'm hoping that we're kind of going to be okay. Yeah, so heated screen. Oh, I say, I think it's got hill start on it. So, so assisted hill start. So if we're pulling away on a hill, yeah, well, you know what that is, isn't it? Assisted hill start. But it's tidy. Plus, he had all the paperwork, all the MOTs, all the service records, everything. And this thing has only done, I know the door's open, I know, 64,000 miles from new, and apparently only 40,000 miles on this engine, because the engine blew up at 20k or something, and he had a new engine put in it. So yeah, so generally this was all done on trust. I mean, I trusted him with what he gave me for the vehicle. It is a 12-year-old truck, but I think for us, for what we want to do, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy with it. So it's even got hands-free. Didn't actually notice if that worked or not, but yeah. the guys will be fighting over who gets this truck, I'm sure. Plus, it comes with the uprated springs, rear suspension, which is great for us. Our Transit only has 2 leaf springs, and if you want to count in there, I count 4. So, yeah. It's not new, it's not beautiful, but it's very practical, and it was the right money. Anyway, I've introduced you to the new truck now, so you've seen that. It is time for a quick bit of lunch, and then I am off to go and chuck some grass about again. It's not going to show up on the GoPro, is it? But they might be to hear it. Ah! I looked up in the air. It's a Spitfire, it's exciting, all right?
Not that exciting.
You owe that plane your freedom.
I'm sure I
And the people who flew it.
Yeah, Holly.
Yeah, Holly, you should be blooming well grateful.
Hey, I've given you guys cookies or my side.
All right, don't tell everybody else about cookies.
Oh yeah.
Don't tell Ewan. Yeah.
Steak pie. Yeah, but as promised.
A steak pie.
I made one.
Did you go up to her window going, I'm hungry? I'm so look, he's withering away, poor boy.
That's strong, that, eh?
Yeah, eh?
That's strong.
Right, yeah. Have that off, and then.
So that one on as well.
Hey, what? Sorry.
That one at the front.
Yes. Yeah, because you got to have cut them all off at this level, so. Yeah. Don't fall off the ladder. Well, what you got to do, you get this finger, right, and you got it that. And that's the very best way to do that is when someone's on a ladder with a power tool. All right. Did you choke on that?
Christ. You jumped a mile, mate. I
You did.
I don't normally jump.
Yeah. There's still got one up there.
Is that it? Oh, boy, didn't it?
No.
Do it, you stupid boy.
Yeah. Did you not notice that?
Come on, Michael. You worked.
Well, you hold that. I'll hold the ladder while he's up there.
I don't get anyway. He likes it red.
Hey.
Something that's awful.
That's because you're losing your grip, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right, got it now?
Yeah, I got him.
I think it's sat on that little eye bolt there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eye screw thingy.
Stay there.
Right.
We're on camera now, Mike. We'll do it professionally, ready? Professional.
Yeah. You're being watched now. And let there be light.
The wind.
Yeah.
There you go.
Righto. We've got an old kitchen cabinet. Yeah. And windscreen wiper. And I don't know what that's off of. But that can come out of there as well. Get a screwdriver on that and pull it out. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, if you take the weight off the hinge first,
Yeah.
and then you can cut this off. All right. Just don't forget your PPE. All right. Right. Have fun.
Yeah, well.
Right. So, till the two chaps are off felling ash trees, and I was going to send these two over to go with them. Then they sort of rang up and said, "Well, we don't really need any more help. There's enough for us to do. There's not really enough space for two more." So I said, "Well, we'll keep them back then, and they can go on and take the tops off that." So, got to be done. Right then, I am going to readjust the tines on this. So at the moment he's set to rowing up. I'm going to put him back to chucking out. Oh, I might have to pick him up to do it though, because he's hitting the ground a bit. Yeah, it's still there. Don't worry, it hasn't fallen off. Do you know, a little bit more of that will make that go a lot faster. So I'm late starting today, for no other reason than it's been an overcast, not terribly warm day, and there's no point in turning it too soon because what I turned over yesterday wouldn't have had a chance to dry. So, and even today, this is kind of almost not worth doing. There's quite a lot of air, as in it's windy, but it's not very warm and there's very little sun. So as far as drying is concerned, what I do now for the next few hours, maybe 1 or 2% moisture loss. Maybe. It's not going to make a big difference, but you know, that 1 or 2% can make the difference between a barn catching fire or not. So we'll do it anyway. Okay. Guys can go on taking that apart. That's my other old Transit coming back in. That's the one we've lent out to a mate, just to get in a bit of trouble, because we're nice like that. I haven't given him the bill yet, but you know, we are still nice like that. Don't worry, I don't usually start on the headland, although I have done a couple of times. This field being round, or elongated round, it kind of in some ways encourages you to go round and round. And I'd be maybe more likely to do that if it wasn't so bouncy at the bottom end, because of the rainwater running down the hill, and of course all the little streams it made run uphill. So the easiest way to avoid them is to go up and down long ways. That's what I've been doing. That's all right. I just did that bit. We're going in the little paddock first. So we'll start furthest away and work our way back towards home. This is how we normally do it. Start in the middle, work our way out from the middle, and then do the headland last. So in some ways this is the most important field to get turned. Actually the sun's come out now for a minute, that's quite nice. Because this is ryegrass, and ryegrass by nature takes that extra day longer to dry. It's just the nature of the beast. So yeah, we'll get this one done first and then on to everything else. Well, basically the same as I've done every other day. You know, the idea is to get this as dry as we can before the baler comes tomorrow. Well, it's definitely dried. on the last pass going uphill just now, the tractor was absolutely covered in hay dust and that, but the wind's slightly changed direction. It's kind of going that way now instead of forward over the tractor. But yeah, I have high hopes that if the weather stays with us, we're going to make some pretty good hay. Right, that's one down, 3 to go. Although one of those is quite a small one. So we say 2 and a bit. 2 and a bit to go. Right, just got to shoot back into the yard because I've had a phone call. Customer wants a couple of bags of logs. So just go and load them up for them. And then we'll be back on with this. So while we're in there, we'll just see how the lads are getting on with cutting the frame off that truck. Might get someone to come and grab the bin too. Somebody waving madly out of a white transit. I think it was Windowcraft, but I'm not sure. If it was you and it's not Windowcraft, I'm sorry. But yeah, hello. Right, I just spotted a potential problem there. We're going to sort that out in a minute. Come on then. Come on. Oh. Right, I'll let them get on with that. I've got some tractor driving to do. Come on. Oh, you're there. Sorry. Okay. She's happy now. She's had her food, ain't you? Eh? Yeah. Up you go. Good girl. Right. Poor Richard's just come in. The guy who is borrowing my van, my crew cab tipper, he goes, I'm not having much luck today. I said, what's that? He goes, well, now not only am I short of a van, and he pulled this bit of flywheel out of his, from under his shirt. He said, that's the flywheel off my chipper. Oh. He said, I pulled that out of there, I heard it go bang, and he said, this actually went, it was quite a big piece. It's only a little chipper, but a big piece. I managed to get all the way up the chimney and chucked it in the back of the van. So he says, so now, not only vanless, I'm also chipperless as well now. So I was like, ah. See, it's not just me that has a bit of bad luck sometimes. Poor old Richard. My drinking biscuit. Hey, let this dry in. Looks like it's drying. There is still, however, well, there was yesterday, hopefully not today, there was still the occasional little green bit that came up when I was fluffing it up. So, hopefully today, no green bits. Do you know what? I'm going to go round and round again today. I did it yesterday and it actually worked out here because this is a strange cornered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 corners. So it's a odd shaped blinking field. So, and I went round and round yesterday and it kind of worked. So I'm going to do it again. Too fast. That's fluffing up really nice. I might have a look at that in a minute because it might not need it. We'll go around the headland. I'll do the headland anyway, so I'll go around a couple of times anyway. But if it's like that everywhere, that's pretty much dry enough. This is a much thinner grass variety. There's no ryegrass out there, so it's all thin stem stuff. Yeah, and it does grow, it does dry faster, so this actually does look fit. Neighbours baled theirs yesterday. That's already starting to green up out there. So hopefully, if we've timed this right, I'm making round bales, not squares. I was brave making big square bales, but they take up a bit less space in the rounds. Yeah, we can get this off, and this a bit of rain, and this will green up in no time. There's still quite a bit of moisture in the ground. These look a different colour out here. They look a bit greener, those bales out there, whereas the ones out here definitely got a browner tinge about them. Older grass, but they'll still eat. Yep, still eat them rather than the toenails, as Father used to say. I've stopped to pick up a thing that shouldn't be there, and I don't know why it is there. Why are you there? And why do I suspect that you've probably got doggy tooth prints in you? Right in the hedge. The crunch test. Still got some crunch in it, so definitely some moisture left in some of it. So it's definitely worth turning over the headland. Whether it's as bad as that out there, I mean this predominantly dry, but it's just these few bits still wet. Yeah, we'll carry on turning. I know a few people who mowed hay on the same day as me, and I've already baled it. I think round bales, most of it, but one person I know did it in small conventional bales, and I think another person up in Wotton has baled it in big squares. At least that's what I was told, he baled it in big squares, and it's like, don't put that in the barn. Don't put it in the barn, because a month's time you won't have a barn, it'll be gone. Right, okay. Well, what can I say? I'm going to continue on. I'm going to do around the headland 3 or 4 times. When I get it in the middle, where the grass has had a bit more breeze, because under the hedge here it's quite well protected from draft and breeze, so it won't dry as fast on the headland, which is why quite often sometimes you'll see a farmer's cut the headland grass first, and that's because it takes longer to dry. So sometimes you'll cut the headland, give it a day, and then cut the rest of the field the day after, or maybe even the day after that. I mean, some farmers will cut the headland and just wrap that bit, not even bother trying to dry it. They just wrap the headland and then make hay from the middle of the field. There's loads of different ways of doing it. I don't want any wrapped bales this year. I want all hay. So it's a bit more work on the turning. So if I was making silage, I'd probably only turn this once and then row it up and bale it. Sort of 3 days, job done. But because I want to make hay, it's 4 or 5 days and turning it every day. So, especially because the weather hasn't been it's not been really good drying weather. Yesterday was okay. It was breezy, it was warm, it was touching the 30s. Good drying day yesterday, but today, all right, it looks nice now, and it is warmish. But for the first half of the day, really didn't do anything with the weather. So. Okay, right, well, we're just going to go on, round and round, gently at it, and yeah, maybe I'll see you later when I've got bored of talking to myself. I'll come back and talk to you. Or you. Yeah, I could talk to you, couldn't I? Maybe not. She's not feeling very talkative. Suit yourself. That's it. It's done. I was going to take that off because I've got no more grass to spin until we cut over at Tether Farm. But Mrs. P rang me just before I finished to say there's fish and chips in the house. It's in the oven, keeping warm. So do you know what? That can wait till tomorrow.